Good evening. Today is October the 6th, 2020. The time is 6:30. We'd like to begin our city council meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd ask our city clerk to do roll call.
Harrington.
Here.
McKinney. Absent. O'Doherty.
Here.
Pierce.
Here.
Schuster.
Here.
Stelter.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Gabriel.
Here.
Shumway.
Here.
That's 8 present and 1 absent, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. We'll now go to the public comment on non-agenda items. Anyone that would like to speak, you'll have 3 minutes, and we will invite whoever would like to speak to go ahead. We usually have a list of people, but today I don't think we have a list, so we'll just go to whoever wants to step forward and speak.
John Shapley.
John, go ahead. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is John Shapley. I'm a tax-paying citizen of Laramie. Just want to address some comments that were made recently. Well, not so recently. It was said by one of our current counselors in the past that it was hoped that a killer in Southern California got away with his crime. The exact quote, "Am I the only one that hopes this guy gets away? I know. He killed innocent people and a police officer." Is this the kind of representation our city deserves? Collateral damage of human lives, including law enforcement, is okay if it's a good story. In what world would this ever be okay? Same counselor went on to post a couple of years later, "White guys with guns. That's what I'm scared of." As a litmus test, imagine if we restated that as black guys with guns. In what world would a racist comment be okay? The sheer hate and animosity shown by such a simple statement is not easy to overlook. Why would such a person ever be allowed a public position, elected or otherwise? Was it simply just not known? This is not anecdotal. I have the screenshots of these statements. I have not named anyone directly. You know who you are. Maybe the counselor responsible for these statements should do the right thing and withdraw from their current election bid. This same counselor tried to anonymously use the county prosecuting attorney to shut down an event recently. I hear that this counselor was quite upset when his name was put out there. Another thing I'd like to address is allowing Antifa activity. Why are we allowing the BLM/Antifa groups so much leeway to disrupt our city? Why are policing policies being influenced by state legislators? Why isn't the city council supporting and assisting our PD where they can? Why does the PD have to bear the brunt of baseless accusations alone? This same group is trying to rally support from Denver. If not shut down quickly, do you think people that don't live here will have any compunction against rioting, looting, and destroying businesses in another town when we've seen clear evidence of what they do to their own? Why are police being told to permit people to break laws? Why are they being forced to allow public intimidation by a tolerant group intent on hating everyone? The same group that accuses another group of tolerant and inclusive people whose families can be traced back hundreds of years in this county as spewing hate and division because they believe in the Constitution and the Second Amendment. I'd also like to see a public statement in support of our men and women in blue, Laramie PD, UWPD, and the Albany County Sheriff's Office. They do their best to support our citizens, and they're definitely not paid what they're worth. The least this council could do would be to let them know they are appreciated. While we're at it, allow them to do their jobs. Let them follow the previously approved use of force guidelines and enforce laws and codes on the books. Allow them to perform their duties without fear of armchair quarterbacking by the very people influencing the council and breaking these same laws. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, Mr. Shapley. Anyone else would like to make comments to the council?
I would.
Caleb Hine.
Caleb, go ahead. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I guess public comment, I just wanted to mention that there's a fundraiser going on right now for the Mullins firefighters. Donations can be collected at the fairgrounds Tuesday through Friday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then on Saturday, they are doing it as well, Saturday, October 10th from 9 to 12 p.m. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a public comment time. And again, this is Caleb Hine running for City Council.
Thank you for that information, Mr. Hine. Anyone else would like to speak?
Mayor, I see no other raised hands or anyone unmuting.
Okay, with that, then we'll close this public comment period. We will have another at the end of our meeting. I'd like to now have the Vice Mayor go over the consideration of changes in the agenda and set the agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. I would move that the following changes to the agenda be approved. 9F on the consent agenda be removed.
Second.
Been moved and seconded by Councilor Pierce. All in favor of the change to the agenda indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Vice Mayor?
Yes, I would move that the agenda be set as changed.
Second.
Okay, that's, motion has been moved and seconded by Councilor Schuster. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, the agenda has now, the consent agenda has been set. The next item that we have is proclamations. And today there's two proclamations. I'll read the first, and then our Vice Mayor is going to read the second one. This first proclamation is Laramie Disabilities Employment Awareness Month. Whereas disability in no way diminishes the right of individuals to work independently, enjoy self-determination, make choices, contribute to society, and experience the economic, political, social, cultural, and educational mainstream of American society. Whereas the goals of this city include providing awareness about disability employment issues and celebrate the many and varied contributions individuals with disabilities provide to the workplace. Whereas the value and talent of these individuals add to the workplace and the community. Whereas thousands in Wyoming face challenges with disabilities daily. Whereas the month of October has been designated as Disabilities Employment Awareness Month to celebrate and recognize disabled individuals and promote awareness in the workplace. Now therefore, be it resolved that I, Joe Shumway, acting as mayor and president of the governing body of the city of Laramie, Wyoming, do hereby proclaim October 2020 as Disability Employment Awareness Month in this city, and encourage all citizens, businesses, public and private agencies, religious and educational institutions to join in observing the month in honor of persons with disabilities. Signed, Joe Shumway, Mayor of the City of Laramie. And I've invited Michaela Rank to come up and make some comments. Then I'm going to present her with the proclamation. Welcome,
Thank you.
Michaela.
Thank you. On behalf of the Laramie Advisory Commission on Disabilities, I would like to thank the City of Laramie and our local businesses for employing individuals with disabilities within our city. I'd also like to thank the council for issuing the proclamation recognizing Disability Employment Awareness Month for the month of October.
Thank you. If you'd come forward, we want to get a picture, and I'll present you with the proclamation. Michaela? Wait, just to, if you'll stand there, then the council will gather close. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd ask the Vice Mayor if he would read the second proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas change is constant and affects all cities, towns, suburbs, counties, boroughs, townships, rural areas, and other places. And whereas community planning and plans can help manage this change in a way that provides better choices for how people work and live. Whereas community planning provides an opportunity for all residents to be meaningfully involved in making choices that determine the future of their community. And whereas the full benefits of planning requires public officials and citizens who understand, support, and demand excellence in planning and planning implementation. And whereas the month of October is designated as National Community Planning Month throughout the United States of America and its territories, and whereas the American Planning Association and its professional institute, the American Institute of Certified Planners, endorse National Community Planning Month as an opportunity to highlight the contributions sound planning and plan implementation make to the quality of our settlements and environment. Whereas the celebration of National Community Planning Month gives us the opportunity to publicly recognize the participation and dedication of the members of the Planning Commission and other citizens planners who have contributed their time and expertise to the improvement of Laramie, Wyoming. Whereas we recognize the many valuable contributions made by professional community and regional planners of Laramie, Wyoming, and extend our heartfelt thanks for the continued commitment to public service by these professionals. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Vice Mayor Gabriel, acting on behalf of the Mayor and President of the governing body of the City of Laramie, Wyoming, Joe Shumway, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2020 as Community Planning Month in the City of Laramie in conjunction with the celebration of National Community Planning Month. And we have with us tonight our City Planning Director, Derek Teeney.
Mayor and Council, thank you for the proclamation. Each year in October, we do a proclamation for Planning Month. Laramie, we are lucky here in Laramie because this community does support planning. It allows for not only my staff, but the Planning Commission, the Council, and community planners to come up with innovative ideas that make our community better. And so with that, each Monday of this week, or this month, we are going to have a small post on our website as well as on our social media, just related to planning issues and topics and some things that just to provide an insight into the planning world. And want to thank the Council and the Planning Commission as well for continuing to support planning in our community.
Thank you, Derek. Would you like to come forward and we'll get... Thank you. I won't get too close to it.
All right, we'll do one of these. Everybody smile.
We are. Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
Okay. Now, I believe we have a presentation by Todd Fieser. I think Todd's on a Zoom.
Correct. Honorable Mayor, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I appreciate the time you've given me to thank the individuals, organizations, and city staff that helped create, maintain, and close the Hollyhock Commons project. Businesses that donated to Hollyhock Commons include Centennial Woods for the labor and material for the planter boxes, Blue Federal Credit Union for funds to create the safety posters and signs, and Tri-Hydro for the labor to build the tables. Businesses that assisted with Hollyhock Commons in various ways include Blodorn Lumber for their expertise on how to build sturdy picnic tables, the Windmill Hill Greenhouse for arranging the beautiful flowers that adorn the site, and Carpet One for advice on how to lay the turf and secure it during use, which is something that I'm not an expert at. Organizations that worked with us through the development of the project include the Laramie Public Art Coalition and the Laramie Main Street Alliance. And last but not least, we can't forget the contributions of various city departments or divisions, including parks, facilities, recreation, streets, solid waste, and public works, who all had a hand in installation, maintenance, upkeep, and removal of the Hollyhock Commons. The Hollyhock Commons was designed, as you may remember, to provide a safe environment for residents and visitors to enjoy Laramie's downtown by providing socially distanced outdoor seating for the enjoyment of all visitors. I hope our community enjoyed the Hollyhock Commons and thank all those who participated with the project, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Feaser. I will say this, we've received letters from the community thanking us for this venue, and it's been enjoyed by very many people. Also, I want to thank you for all the hard work that you and the staff has put in on this. So any questions anyone has regarding Hollyhock Commons? All right, seeing none, thank you again, Todd, for all the work that you did.
Thank you, Mayor Semley.
Okay. We have a couple of announcements. City Manager Jordan,
Mayor, we do. First one from Todd Feaser.
you're back on, Todd.
Honorable Mayor, City Council, want to make sure that we invite council and all the public to come out to the groundbreaking ceremony for the solar array installations at the Rec Center at Heisen Event Center. It'll be held on October 13th at 11 a.m., which is next Tuesday, and we'll be at the Heisen Event Center with golden shovels, a few speakers, and refreshments for anybody that comes. So we hope you all can make it.
Great.
Thank you. Mayor, our second announcement is from Planning Manager Taney.
Mayor and Council, if you remember, the city of Laramie received a brownfield grant approximately 3 years ago. The grant was for $300,000 and was used over in the neighborhood we all call the West Side. And we're nearing the end of that process. It has now been 3 years. The grant technically expired on the 1st. We have a 90-day extension to finish up some public meetings. And so one of the things that we want to do is make not only the council but the public aware that are listening tonight that at the Lincoln Community Center on October 14th from 5:30 to 6:30, we will have staff as well as the consultants there in a socially distanced event, but in-person event outside to kind of provide the public and anyone who's interested information regarding the process that we went through, the findings of the brownfield grant, as well as just to provide an opportunity for members of the neighborhood or any resident of the city of Laramie to come talk with us about what the brownfield grant does and how that can help a community advance potential development within the area. At the meeting, we will have not only city staff there, but members of Ayers Associates, who are our consultants that helped us manage and complete much of the scientific and land use planning for the process. We will also, at that event, have some local food trucks there so that people can grab food and just kind of hang out, as well as we will be debuting a video that was made to promote the West Side and just to provide kind of some context for anyone ever looking into the West Side that might think, you know, is the West Side for me? Is it something that is a place that I should develop? What is important about the neighborhood? And so we're really excited about that. So first off, remember, it's October 14th from 5:30 to 6:30 at the Lincoln Community Center. Anyone is welcome. We really look forward to seeing people there. At least come talk to us, say hi. The second item I want to note is for anyone that does not want to attend that meeting in person, on October 19th, we will have from noon to 1 a Zoom town hall. It's similar opportunity. We will have staff as well as Ayers Associates available to answer questions and talk with any member of the public. We're going to go through many of the same exercises and show the same video and really give anyone an opportunity who just doesn't feel comfortable going to an in-person event, the same opportunity to get the information that we have, because we want people to have that information. And then if for some reason you can't attend to those, but you still want to know more, we will be presenting to the Planning Commission on October 26th at their regular meeting at 4:30, as well as on October 27th to City Council at your work session. And so with that, I will note that the city of Laramie has a page specifically dedicated to the Brownfield grant. It's under the Planning Division's webpage. It's been up for the last 3 years. It contains all the information that we've ever collected and discussed about the project. We'll continue to we'll post the video there as soon as we debut it on the 14th, as well as continue to have that as a landing place for any information and the actual Brownfield grant kind of from here on out, because there may be people that will look to this in the future and want to know the information that was collected. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing the council or any member of the public there.
Thank you, Mr. Tini. I believe that's all the announcements, so now I'll ask the City Council if there's any disclosures on any item that they would have a conflict of interest on regarding anything on the agenda. Seeing none, we'll go back to the Vice Mayor to go through the approval of the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. I would move that the consent agenda be approved as amended and that each specific action on the consent agenda be approved as indicated.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda. I'd ask this City Clerk if she would do roll call on the approval of the consent agenda.
Harrington,
Yes.
McKinney, absent. O'Doherty,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes.
Stalder, Weaver,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Shumway.
Yes,
That's 8 yeses, 0 nos, and 1 absent, Your Honor.
thank you. The consent agenda has been approved. We now go to the regular agenda. The first item on the regular agenda is item number 11. Ask Councilor Schuster to introduce that to us.
Thank you. The title is Amendment Number 1 to Professional Service Agreement for the Reynolds Sanitary Sewer Design. I move to approve Amendment Number 1 to the Reynolds Sanitary Sewer Professional Service Agreement with Tri-Hydro Corporation to conduct video inspection services for a total amendment of $129,534.00 and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign.
Second.
Okay, that motion has been made and seconded by Councilor Doherty. And I believe Brooks Webb will be giving us an introduction. Go ahead.
Honorable Mayor, City Council, Engineer and Project Manager William Wheatley is going to present our first 2 items tonight.
Okay.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of City Council. I'd like to draw attention back in October of 2019, we approved the professional services agreement for the Reynolds sanitary sewer design. Since that time, we have been working with Tri-Hydro. Tri-Hydro's been working with their design team and collected flow data along the line. The flow monitoring takes months to complete. It is supposed to cover a large period of time so that you can get accurate data. With that data, they were then able to work on modeling the information, modeling the line with the types of material and sizes of existing lines that we have in place. They have a draft modeling report that they have presented to our staff and a draft phasing plan, which is part of the original agreement. With that, the modeling came back in a situation where we may be able to utilize trenchless pipe installations. That trenchless installation would include pipe bursting, some in situ form lining, some different techniques so that we don't have to open up Reynolds Street the whole way from 2nd Street all the way to past 30th Street, which would save us a lot of money in the long run of asphalt repairs and different patching and traffic control implementation. With that, this item is specifically called out for video inspection To perform the video inspection, the consultant will need to implement traffic control and bypass pumping. That leads to the larger dollar amount for this. We don't include this item in our normal design for sanitary sewer lines most of the time, as if you're upsizing more than just a couple of inches in the diameter of the line, it's not feasible work. So once we found that the size of pipe doesn't need to increase as much as we initially thought, now it becomes a possibility to utilize trenchless technologies. So with that, I would take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Winkler. Any questions for William Winkler? Councilor Doherty.
Mr. Winkler, did you consider like a parallel sewer line to increase the capacity? Was that one of the considerations?
So the design consultant has taken multiple considerations into play. A parallel installation has been talked about. It sounds like with our conversations from Wyoming Department of Environmental Quality, they aren't gonna, it's not gonna be necessary to do the parallel install. The parallel install would allow us to increase the capacity upstream from a lower portion, maybe, in the interim, but it sounds like from our initial discussions, we may be able to address an upstream portion prior to completing all of our downstream upsizes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Are there any questions or comments from the public regarding this project? I don't see any, so let's ask the council if there's any comments before we vote. City Clerk, could we have a roll call?
Doherty.
Yes.
Stalder.
Yes.
McKinney.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Pierce.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Shumway.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
All right. That item passes. We now go to item number 12. Councilor Stalder.
I move to approve the cooperative agreement with the Wyoming Department of Transportation in the amount of $109,338.13 and a contingency of $21,867.63 for a total project agreement of $131,205.76 and amend the project budget from $50,000 to $131,205.76 and authorize the mayor and clerk to sign.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded by Councilor Schuster and Mr. Winkler. I believe this is your project also, if you want to introduce that to us.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. This item is something we've been working on with YDOT for the last few months, as we found out that the location through a traffic study that they have completed has determined the Flint Street intersection as the intersection where they are looking to install a traffic signal near Safeway to help relieve some of the pressures that we have for the turning movements in that area. With that, when we found out that area, we had a project for the Flint Street connection between 3rd Street and 4th Street. This follows up with our 4th Street reconstruction that we did this past construction season. It will now connect through there with the signal going in. Our roadway will be needing a little bit of improvement to handle possible increased traffic volumes and turning movements. So we have joined with YDOT to have them complete the design and construction administration for the project.
Thank you. Any questions regarding this project? Counselor Stalder?
Thank you. How much is YDOT paying towards the project?
So YDOT is covering the signal project. They are covering all the improvements that would be correlated with the signal project. So the valley pans and some asphalt patching that would have happened into Flint Street, along with some sidewalk and curb and gutter that would have had to be repaired as part of their job. We are, I don't know the exact dollar amount that they have for that signal, but typically they run anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000 per signal, and they are doing some minor stormwater upgrades that need to be done because of conflicts with their ADA ramps and different things like that. So we are just piggybacking the project that we had on top of their project.
Can I ask a follow-up
Go ahead.
question? So it just makes me wonder if we're going from $50,000 to $131,205.76. Are we just bad at budgeting this stuff? I mean, that's a huge increase. And a 20% contingency. That's not a slight to anybody, it just seems like a really big difference from the original budget.
Yes, Honorable Mayor, members, or Councilor Salder, to answer your question, when we initially budgeted the project, we had it budgeted higher than the $50,000. We then went to YDOT and talked to them since we knew that we were doing the project or wanting to work the project with their project, and their initial cost estimate came in at just shy of $50,000. That was to complete 2 inches of asphalt and had less curb, gutter, and sidewalk than what we ended up needing with the design. They have reached it right away and engineering plans at this point, so that would be about our 75% plans for the project. So with that, we have a more accurate idea of our costs, and we did go from 2 inches to 4 inches of asphalt.
Okay, is that typical to bid for 2 inches instead of 4 inches?
So, Honorable Mayor, member, or Councilor Solder, there's multiple methods to going about this. Yes, there are. It is typical to do a mill and overlay process where you take out 2 inches and you mill and you overlay 2 inches on top of the existing base or what's left of the asphalt. When in our discussions with YDOT, the turning movements and the increase of traffic in the area is what we were concerned with. We did go out and do field investigations after the budget period was up and found that the existing base and asphalt, you would not have much asphalt left if we milled out the 2 inches. So we would be leaving less than 2 inches in place and possibly losing that anyway. So we are looking to increase that cross section.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council? Councilor Weaver?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you for Mr. Winkler. I just want to make sure that I understood your answer correctly, which was that our staff was awaiting further information from the Wyoming Department of Transportation. And once you received that, then you had to go back and make some different calculations for this project. Did I understand that correctly?
So through the Honorable Mayor, Councilmember Weaver, yes, we did work with YDOT on this. It wasn't them directing us on what we needed to do. It was us taking the information of what they had planned and working from there that ended up increasing our scope of work.
Right, right. My question was, Mr. Winkler, you had some time in between when this project was originally envisioned and when you had all the information that you needed back from YDOT. Is that correct?
Honorable Mayor, Councilor Weaver, that would be correct.
Thank you. I just wanted to make that clear that it really wasn't an issue of our city staff having a budgeting problem so much as it was having an accurate information delay, which happens when you work with agencies in the state of Wyoming, and that's not a criticism of that department either. It's simply the way it works when you have projects all over the state that are being done in cooperation through our Department of Transportation, the various municipal and town governments across the state. Sometimes you don't have all the information, but there's still a need to make sure that there's a budget in place in order to follow the budget processes that we've set forth. So I appreciate that, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Winkler.
Thank you, Councilor Weaver. Any other questions from the council? Any questions regarding this project on Flint Street and obviously 3rd Street from the public? Questions or comments? Not seeing any, we'll go back to the council for comments before we vote. Councilor Harrington, is your hand up? Okay, sorry. Any other comments from the council? Let me just make one comment myself. I watched the signalization at Reynolds and 22nd, which has been a very important project for our community. That project, as Mr. Winkler said, for the light, is anywhere from $250,000, $250,000 up to $300,000. The total project cost for 22nd Reynolds was, I think, $387,000. So obviously there's a big expense for street improvement and intersection improvement for any signalization. Now, I think it comes as a welcome news to the community that we are working now towards having signalization in this shopping center near Safeway. So I'm sure now that the word is out and everyone's looking forward to it. This is just phase 1. It'll be a while before we're complete, but we're moving as quickly as we can so that that congested area and that dangerous part of town will have some relief. Any other comments from council before we vote? Councilor Doherty?
I'm just excited for this to happen. While I was pumping gas at Safeway, twice I've been there when there's been an accident right near there. So I really look forward to have some traffic control there. Thank you.
Any other comments from council? Roll call?
Weaver,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Stalder,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
O'Doherty,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Shumway.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
All right, that item also passes. We now move on to item number 13, which is Councilor O'Doherty.
I move to award the professional services agreement for the design of the Household Hazardous Waste Building project to CSG Architecture of Casper, Wyoming, in the amount of $111,980.00, plus a contingency of $11,198.00, for a total amount not to exceed $123,178.00, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign.
Second.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved and seconded that we approve this item. Who's going to introduce? Brooks, is this going to be introduced by you, Brooks Webb?
Yes, sir. Honorable Mayor, City Council. Did you see this is the award of the project design for the new Household Hazardous Waste Building. As you may know, the City of Laramie accepts household hazardous waste from all Albany County residents free of charge. We do this to basically protect the environment, keep those materials out of the landfill, and reduce the risk of groundwater contamination. So this is to design a new building near the front entrance where the materials will be accepted from the public sorted, packaged, and held for transfer from a licensed contractor. We went out for requests for qualifications. We received 3 proposals on August 20th. We had a group of staff members that reviewed those proposals and interviewed the 3 companies. GSG Architecture, Plan 1 Architects, and Hein Ballin Architects were the 3. And the staff committee is recommending GSG Architecture for the design of this project. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
All right, thank you, Mr. Webb. Any questions? Vice Mayor Gabriel?
Brooks, would you just briefly talk about how this is going to enhance our recycling from what you are doing currently?
Sure. So, Honorable Mayor, through Honorable Mayor, City Council, the current program, basically the resident comes in, drops off their material near the Baylor building up front now. And then before the end of the day, our staff will load that into a pickup truck, drive it to the current building, which is on the very back side of the site. It's literally a mile from the front entrance. That building that we store that material in is simply a pole barn with a concrete floor. There's no power there. There's no heating in that building, nothing. It's literally just a pole barn. And so we store the materials in there, but we can't actually sort and package during the winter time because it's so cold. So 6 months out of the year is all we're doing is stacking up material. And then we're able to get material transferred out about once a year. And with this new facility, the customer will actually be able to pull in, deliver the material right to the facility. Our staff will be able to sort it all year long because the building will be heated and have proper ventilation in it. And then we'll be able to actually transfer that material out more often, which means we don't have as much household hazardous waste stored on site, which is obviously a great thing. It'll also be closer to the front entrance where the other employees are. It makes me a little nervous now having employees working with household hazardous waste a mile away from other employees, and sometimes the communication out there isn't great as far as with radios and cell phones and things like that. So this is really going to enhance the safety for our staff. This is going to enhance the customer experience and really just make the overall process more efficient once we're completed with the project.
Great, thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions from the council? Councilor Stalder.
Thank you, Mayor. So I see the total project cost, this is just the design, but the total project cost is $870,000. I was wondering if this will result in any increased fees, like on our city utility bill.
Councilor Stoller, through you, Mayor. No, it won't. But this project really was able to come forward because of the savings we realized on the landfill project that we recently did. You know, we did the SRF loan and we got a huge portion of that through principal forgiveness. And so this project was really able to come forward. This is a project that we've wanted to do for a long time that we felt is really important. And that savings that we realized during the construction of the last 3 landfill cells really is what was able to push this forward. So no, we don't anticipate any cost increase because of this project. The overall project cost is $870,000. That includes, during design, we're going to be looking at a solar system on the roof of that building to help reach council's carbon offset goals. And also, we're looking at having power requirements to that building to actually have a charging station for a future electric water truck on site. So some of those costs are to help meet future carbon emission offsets. But the short answer is no, this project will not increase fees to the public.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Webb, you mentioned that the water truck, is that potentially to be parked inside of this building?
Yeah, Honorable Mayor, City Council, absolutely. Part of the design for this will be, we'll have a garage set up in part of this building to house that water truck. Currently on site, we don't have a heated facility to park a water truck and to park any vehicle. And obviously, we've got to have a heated area for a water truck. So yeah, part of this building, a small portion of the building will be for that. The building, we're estimating right now, and design will really shake this out, but we're estimating the building to be around 3,000 square feet. And probably 500 square feet of that will be garage for a future water truck.
Thank you. Any other questions from the council? Any questions or comments from the public? Any comments from the council? Roll call.
McKinney,
Yes.
O'Doherty,
Yes.
Stalder,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Shumway.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
All right, so that item also passes. We have completed the items on our agenda, and we now go back to public comments. Those making public comments, you'll have 3 minutes. We ask you not to make any personal attacks, and also use proper decorum as you make your comments. Those that would like to speak, you will have 3 minutes.
I see no hands raised or unmuting, Mayor.
All right, thank you, City Clerk. We will therefore close the public comment period and ask the council now if there's any consideration for future council work project topics. Seeing none, I will ask our Councilor Pierce to take item number 16.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we adjourn to executive session regarding personnel, Wyoming Statute 16-4-405, lowercase a, Roman numeral 10.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn into executive session. All those in favor of adjournment indicate by saying aye.
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 We'll take a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back into executive session. So those of you that are on this Zoom call, come back on your new Zoom in about 10 minutes, and we'll have executive session. So